This is Levistro, the Dragon of Cyberspace, coming to you with all news, tips, and tricks within the gaming spectrum. And I do apologize for not covering news for the past month and a half. I had a lot of IRL stuff going on that I couldn't make time to make more gaming news videos. And when I came back, I was kind of trying to get back to the news price so I could start making these videos. And this current video is special thanks to Mikey Doucette, aka The Goon Room, who sent this in to me in a DM. For those who don't know and wondering what the thumb title, for the past year or so, Ubisoft has made some really outrageous claims and has irked the ire of the gaming community and their customers, from saying that gamers should get used to not owning their own games, to taking down the crew, which ended up being in a lawsuit, and creating more EULAs, and harping down on gamers and customers don't own their games. And, well, like I said before, you have to read the EULAs now, because they want you to do other stipends. They want you to admit and acknowledge you don't own your game. And if you have a problem, you have to go to their home location to file a lawsuit, so the laws are in their favor. And it's not just them, but Bethesda has done this, as well as a couple of others, writing these EULAs. And that's why you need to read. Don't worry, I will not be posting that clip. That's only for Dragoncast, the actual live show, which is on every Saturday around 6 p.m. Central Time. But we have news that Ubisoft has added another stipulation to their EULA, as seen on Reddit. From the R Gaming, an anonymous time waster, has stated Ubisoft wants gamers to destroy all copies of a game once it goes offline. The company has updated its EULA, which now states those who own the product must destroy all copies of the game at all copies at all costs. And that's the interesting thing here. They say we don't own the game, but yet we kind of do at the same time. Notice that. And it says here, they stated, you and Ubisoft or its licensors may terminate this EULA at any time for any reason. This EULA will terminate automatically. If you fail to comply with any of the terms and conditions of this EULA upon termination for any reason, you must immediately uninstall the product and destroy all copies of the product in your possession. Ubisoft may modify the product for any reason without any specific reason at any time in its entire discretion, in particular for technical reasons such as updates. Ubisoft may modify the product for any reason without any specific reason at any time in its entire discretion, in particular for technical reasons such as updates. Additionally, you are responsible for periodically checking the EULA for changes, as it is now the consumer's responsibility to take any unreasonable changes made by the company without notice. If for any reason you don't want to comply with the EULA, you would, of course, have to destroy all the copies of the product you own. Please read Section 8 of this document here. Now, I actually decided to go ahead and bring up that EULA. Link will be in the description. It says here, Ubisoft grants you the non-exclusive, non-sub-license, and non-commercial right to install or use a product in the whole, blah, blah, blah. You will not lease, rent, blah, blah, blah. And it goes down and says, like here, for the ownership, all rights and property, text, graphics, fictional, blah, blah, blah. Basically, they, in short, legalese is pretty much saying that you acknowledge they own the property and you don't own shit. You're renting the game. And here's another one here. You are using a product. The product may monitor your hardware, run and access memory for unauthorized third-party programs, prohibited by Section 1. So like mods that they don't like, anything they don't want you to have, blah, blah, blah. But we go down to Section 8. And here in Section 8 is termination. The EULA is effective from earlier the date of your date you purchase, download, or use the product until terminated. Sought you and Ubisoft or licensor may terminate at any time for any reason. You must immediately uninstall the product and destroy all copies of the product in your possession. And it continues Ubisoft reserves the right in themselves discretion to revise, update, change, modify, blah blah blah. Legal best practice or regulatory reasons, such change will be effective or after prior notice, without prior notice to you. You can review the most current version of EULA by clicking EULA link located on the product or on ubi.com. You are responsible for checking these EULA periodic changes. Any future changes to this EULA unacceptable to you, you are to no longer be in agreement or compliance with this EULA. You may terminate this EULA in accordance with Section 8 and must immediately install and destroy all copies of the product. Your continued use of the product following any revision of EULA constitutes you complete and irrevocable acceptance to any of all such changes. And it continues, that they may modify for any reason without specific reason at any time at its entire discretion. So it's all in favor of Ubisoft, the corporation. And corporate's going to corpo. So what can you viewer, what can you do about this? Well, it's pretty simple. Don't play any Ubisoft games if you find it's disagreeable. When you see an EULA, avoid games within EULA. If you do see an EULA and you want to play the game, read the EULA. When I play a game that I stream and there's the EULA, I try my hardest to read the EULA or scan it for you don't own your games. If that happens, I either A, continue playing, or B, I remove the game. Most likely if it says I don't own the game, I'm going to play it for a minimum of 2 hours per Steam policy, and then I'll either keep playing the game or I'll remove it. One such example was Dragon Wilds. I was really wanting to play the game, so I continued on, didn't like it, removed it. V Rising was another one that had a similar legalese speech. Now, while EULAs are usually tossed out during court cases that I will acknowledge, they are trying to make this legally binding in the Crew lawsuit that they're against. The problem with the Crew lawsuit, and the reason why they're doing this, is because they guaranteed players that the activation key would be active until 2099, which they took the servers down, which violates their previous promises. So they made a promise as a company that their product is guaranteed to be working until 2099, when most of us are already gone, because of life expectancy. But they kind of shot themselves in the foot figuratively for that. And now they're trying to cover themselves up, make sure that this here will be legally binding by you unawares. So yes, viewer, put your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, happy gaming.
Worlds clash in endless collision. Gaming news with a fierce precision. With a spark so wild it breaks the norm. In the tempest's eye of cyberstorm. Reclaim gaming in Dragon Cast. Fire breathing wide, screaming loud. The Vistro's here to shake the crowd.